Hey everybody, Shane Kohler here. I'm the creator of The Living Relationship, where we bring you a conscious approach to your dating and relationship challenges. If you're excited about having access to conscious relationship content that will give you the dating strategies and the relationship skills that you need to create the kind of love that you really want, then make sure you subscribe to this channel. One of the biggest questions we get from people that are going through a challenging heartbreak is, how do I get my ex back? And today we wanted to address that question. We wanted to talk about how to get your ex back. How to get your ex back, should you get your ex back? How do you know if you even can get your ex back? And how do you know if it's actually the right thing to do? Today we're going to be addressing all of those questions because we know that when you're going through a heartbreak, the first thing that you want to do is cling to that person. But we also know that sometimes it's not always the best thing. And sometimes it is, but most people don't know how to tell the difference. Sitting around and wondering, how do you get your ex back, is not a powerful thing to do. It's actually the most disempowering thing you can do, because basically you're saying, how do I get someone who doesn't want me to want me? And that's never going to make you feel good about yourself. It's only going to destroy your confidence and destroy your self-esteem. But to honestly sit and consider, should I get back together with my ex, is a very powerful thing you could do. First of all, it implies that you do have the option, but it also implies that you don't have to want to get back with your ex. So rather than having an automatic clinging to this person, you can actually sit back and make a conscious choice about whether you want to attempt to recreate the relationship with them or not. Now, we understand that when you're going through the heartbreaking emotions of a breakup, this is easier said than done. So be gentle with yourself. But in this video, we're going to tell you exactly what you need to do in a breakup to first discover if getting back together with your ex or not is a good idea. 2, to discover if getting back with them is really an option. And 3, what to do if you decide that you do want to get back with them, that it is a good idea. So really excited for today's video. I hope it's helpful. Make sure you leave a comment below and tell me your thoughts after you watch it. Make sure you watch this video all the way to the end because you don't want to miss anything that we're going to cover today. Thanks for watching, and let's get started. So how do you know if getting back together with them is really the right thing? The first thing you have to realize is that in any experience of loss, the most natural thing to do for a human being is to cling to the thing that you lost and to want that thing back. So your feelings of wanting that person back are not a good guidance system to tell you if that is actually the right thing. But you also want to be aware that those feelings are probably going to be there and you're probably going to struggle with them. Something you have to realize is that nothing good ever comes from getting back together with an ex unless you uncover and resolve the underlying reasons why you broke up in the first place. The reasons that you broke up usually have nothing to do with whatever you might have been fighting about at the time. The reasons you broke up go back as far as your relationship has been, to the very beginning. And there have been things building under the surface, whether it was a couple of months or several years. There have been things building under the surface over time that have led to the point of a break. To actually have the relationship succeed, you have to go back and uncover what all of those things are and be able to resolve them within yourself and in the relationship between the two of you before it could ever have a chance of working. Most people who have gone back to an ex will tell you that it was a short period of euphoria followed by a same cropping up of all the issues that they were dealing with in the first place. And thinking that you're going to go back and never do those things again and everything is going to be great doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really work that way. Healthy couples, strong couples don't break up. And if your relationship has reached the point of a breakup, there are fundamental issues that have to be addressed between the two of you before it could ever work. So this is what you need to do if you're considering going back to your ex. The first thing is you have to be really clear about what you want, regardless of that person. Whether or not that person is in your life, you have to be really clear about what you want. So often we cling to having somebody in our life to the extent that we even sacrifice and give up what we really want to keep that person around. So you have to be clear about what you want, even if that person is not in your life. Then you have to honestly answer for yourself, can this person give you what you want? Can this person be the person that you need them to be in a relationship? Saying no to that question doesn't make them a bad person, and it doesn't mean you have to hate them. But it does mean if you try to force a relationship to work with them, you're always going to feel like you're missing out. The final point you have to look at is you have to ask yourself, are you and are they willing to do the work to make the relationship work? If you try to do it all without their help, it's never going to work. Both of you have to come together, discover what's going on under the surface, do the work within yourself and within the relationship before you can overcome all of the challenges that you had while you were in the relationship. Whenever someone comes to us in a breakup and wants to know if they should get back with their ex, these are the questions we address with them. We go into deep detail about what do they really want. Can this person honestly give it to them? And if not, why would they continue to engage in that relationship? What are the underlying issues that they're facing as a couple? Usually it's things that they have never even thought of. And once they have clarity around these issues, they are better able to determine if going back to their ex is really a good idea. Often what happens is they realize that what they really wanted was something else, and they were only clinging to the idea of the relationship. I'm going to leave a link below if you want to connect with us around doing some deeper work on this. You can submit a request there. Now, once you've decided that it is a good idea, and by that I mean you've really thought it through, you realize that the two of you do have something really special together. You can see the possibility that they can truly give you what you want in your life. And you think that you have something that you're both willing to put in the effort and the work to make it be something great. Now, if you've honestly considered it and you've come to that conclusion, the next thing you have to do is determine, can the two of you really get back together? Sometimes people are done. Sometimes people close the door entirely and they're not even interested in opening it. But most people don't close the door like that. Most people leave an opening, and if there is an opening, there is the possibility of having the relationship back. Some things you should look for is, are they making excuses to talk to you? Are they reaching out? Are they texting you about seemingly unrelated things? Are they talking to other people and you hear from other people that they're talking about you, so you're on their mind? If these kinds of things are happening, then that's them demonstrating that they are leaving the door open a little bit. Now, if you've been reaching out to them, you're not going to know if the door is open because you've only been reaching out. And usually in a breakup, reaching out too often pushes the other person away. So what you need to do is take a break and see if they will reach out to you on their own. See if they will make reasons to talk to you on their own. The worst thing you could do in a breakup is beg or plead for someone to take you back. That is usually enough to take any remaining attraction they have for you and dissolve it. If the door was a little bit open, that's enough to close it all together. You should never beg or plead someone to get back together with you in a breakup, because space is never a bad thing in a breakup. Often we don't want to give the person space because we think if we give them space, they will decide they don't want to be with us. But I promise you, if that was going to happen, it was going to happen anyway. Space is a good thing in a breakup because you give them the opportunity, and you also have the opportunity to see what life is like without that person and experience what it's like without that person and decide for yourself if that's what you really want. Sometimes seeing life without that person is all it takes to decide that you really do want that person. And if you don't give someone space, and if you don't take it for yourself, you deprive both of you of the opportunity to honestly recognize if this relationship is what you truly want or not. So it's important to give them space, and it's important to take your own space and use this time to do the work that we suggested in the first part. If the door is open, they will reach out to you. They will, period. If they don't reach out, if they don't find some way to try to connect with you, the door is not open, and that's the end of it. Most people will reach out, but you have to give them space. And as I said earlier, pushing them on this will only push them away. Let them come to their own conclusions, and you come to your own conclusion. Get honest with yourself. When they do reach out, what will you say? How are you going to handle it? Are you going to go running back to them, or are you going to decide that you actually want something else? Don't put yourself at their mercy. When you do, you destroy your self-esteem, and you actually set yourself up, in the worst cases, to be manipulated by them. So now you've gotten clear on what you really want. You've decided that you do honestly want the relationship. They've reached out to you. They've demonstrated to you that the door is open. So now what do? Now how do you get back together? There are a lot of people that will teach you all kinds of strategies and manipulative ways to go about this, and you might be inclined to try some kind of manipulative tactic to get them back. But if you want to do that, let me remind you, that is the stuff that causes relationships to fail in the first place. If your relationship is actually going to work, it has to be authentic. And there's no better time to start being authentic than right now. So the only thing you can really do to get them back is do the most authentic thing. And you just simply say to them these few words. You say, I've been thinking. And looking back on our relationship, I see that we had something really great. And I know we have some work to do. And I'm willing to do that work if you are, and I would love it if we could come back together and do the work so we can have an amazing relationship together. Now you could say it in your own words, but say something like that. It's honest, it's simple, it's authentic, and it's a commitment to do what it takes to have your relationship work together. And give them the opportunity to say yes or say no. That's really all you can do. All you are doing is simply and authentically communicating where you stand and giving them the opportunity to simply and authentically decide where they stand. Now, you might think this is vulnerable, and it is. You do, in a way, set yourself up for rejection here. But this is actually the most powerful thing you could do, because you're not begging, you're not pleading, you're simply stating your commitment. And you're giving them the opportunity to do the same. And you need to be really clear with them that if they choose to move on, that you will also choose to move on. That you're not going to pander to them or anyone else. Never fall into the trap of being friends or of having just a sexual relationship, thinking it's going to become more. It won't. These are the things that lead you down a path of stringing it along and never actually getting what you want. Don't ever fall for those things. You got to be clear on what you want, clear on where you stand, and let them know that if they want the relationship with you, there are certain things that need to happen. One of the things that needs to happen is you need a mutual commitment between the both of you that you're going to do the work so that what happened the first time won't happen again. This is one of the most confusing situations that we see people in, and we know the emotions and everything else can be insane when you're going through a breakup. So we're giving you these instructions, but also understand that this is going to be challenging to follow. And this is why we work with people in a breakup situation. This is why we walk with you side by side, step by step, to walk you through each of these steps very specifically. We help you sort through your thoughts and sort through your emotions and figure out where you really stand. We help you figure out what you need to say and how you need to say it. We help you figure out when to call, when not to. We help you through each of these things so you can know exactly what you truly want, so you can stand for what you truly want, and so you can communicate that to that person and avoid getting wrapped up in another destructive cycle. I'm also going to leave a link below to the Conscious Relationship community. And I talk about this all the time, but this is the best place to be if you're looking for a conscious, loving, and committed relationship. In this group, you'll get access to hundreds of like-minded people and a supportive community that share your strengths, that share your breakdowns, that share your breakthroughs, and that'll be on your team to create the kind of relationship you truly want. Not only that, but you get access to us, and we do lives multiple times a week where we take your questions and we work with you in a more personal way. This is also the place where you'll get the access to all the exclusive offers and opportunities we have to work with us in a deeper way. This is a community that you definitely want to be a part of. I'm going to leave a link below. Make sure you join. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope it was helpful. If you enjoy our content, please subscribe to the channel. Also leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. What stood out to you in this video? What was most powerful, and what action are you going to take now as a result of it? Make sure you check out the Conscious Relationship community, and I hope to see you in there. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you back here in our next video.